So we're celebrating our first full year in business. We kind of coined Collectable Cities and got our social accounts a year ago. So how's the year been, Joe?
It's been very rewarding. Shall I put this over here?
Yeah.
It's been very rewarding, but also very, very stressful. I think overall our year's been, the last 2 years have been pretty crazy. I've had a parent pass away. We've had a daughter. COVID.
And so crashes.
Financial crashes. The government doing absolutely crazy things. So yeah, it's been a pretty crazy year.
What were your proudest moments? What was the most exciting parts of the year?
One of the proudest moments when we first got our prototypes. I thought that's really, really cool. Just getting something physically which you spend so much time designing and making in 3D and having it physically itself was amazing.
I think the shapes of them and the colors, and then actually just seeing the size that they would be and everything, really kind of made us need to do the project.
Yeah. But there was a point where we took probably about 3 months or 2 months, just really, really thinking what we're going to do. Are we actually going to do it? Because it was a massive financial, not burden, but it's a big,
huge investment. Bit of a risk. And at first, I think we were hoping to do 12 or something. Yeah. And that gives, a good cross-section of different characters to really see which ones are going to be successful, what people are liking, which ones we would be able to get into the shops more easily than others. But it just wasn't achievable to do that many to start off with. Even with the Kickstarter campaign, I think doing the 5 was already, a lot of money required to get started. So I think going out and doing the photos of the prototypes was really fun as well. Actually seeing them out in London and holding them and taking the photos with them was really neat.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we took the B photo out, then we was taking a photograph. Even a tourist came up to us and wanted to have a look at it and hold it and said, what was it? That was quite fun, wasn't it? But then also it was actually scary. That's the only prototype we had, so it was very...
And I broke it.
You didn't break it. The wind.
Yes, but it was my fault.
And probably my bad design of not making the legs a bit sturdier.
Yeah, you made them all a bit sturdier after the prototypes. And I think as far as reward and getting them in some of the shops so far has been...
We've sort of set some of our goals anyway, I felt like it.
Yeah.
Obviously getting into the Shakespeare Globe and also the Sherlock Museum. Again, Sherlock was a sort of a latecomer, wasn't he? Because we wasn't originally going to do Sherlock. I was really set on the London Guard.
But my mum pushed for Sherlock.
Yeah.
And he's been very popular, so we were glad that we...
Yeah. So
And the factory also, our manufacturers surprised us with the way the magnifying glass actually works.
Yeah.
We didn't know that.
No, we weren't too sure if that was going to work.
And then we haven't yet walked into a shop to see the toys on display. So
no, yeah,
do that soon, and that'll be really neat.
One which I do want to go to at some point is a shop called Quirky Gadgets, which is open in Fulham.
Yeah.
So they've got a massive poster of ours at the moment of Sherlock, and they've displayed their whole window for those little toys. So if you're around that area, go and check it out.
And they should have all of our figures too. So what would you have done differently this year?
What if we started again?
Yeah. Or maybe you wouldn't have started at all.
Yeah, it's like anything. I think you need to go blind in a project.
If you knew what you were in for, you wouldn't do it.
I don't know. No. There's never a good time to do any sort of things, so it's just...
starting a small business and trying to grow our own website and our own audience, I think has given me a lot of appreciation for what other small businesses go through, how much work's required to run an e-commerce business, shipping and all of this sort of stuff is very time consuming.
Yeah, even with the shipping, I've obviously we haven't done this before Brexit, so it's the custom forms, everything. You obviously
he wouldn't know. He just hears me complain about it.
Katie pretty much does all that sort of side. It's a business.
I have nightmares about it. It's there's no good way to do exporting and importing since Brexit.
No, because that decision. Everybody seems to be in charge of each side, which is really disappointing, really, because we were obviously one trying to keep the prices to a good point, but then if people are ordering it and then getting stung at the other end, it's disheartening on us.
Tried to just sort of make up for the extra tax fees by offering cheaper shipping. The most exciting moments of the year, getting the project off the ground.
I guess Brazen, the Kickstarter in 4 days.
Yeah.
It wasn't really... We sort of did it for more like experiment and sort of just to get like the project to out places, and we could actually use like so not sure advertising, but more like contact blogs to make us look a little bit more serious. So that definitely worked, I felt.
Yeah.
And also just the fact that so many people ordered from different other countries. And we were really surprised by, say, America, how much they love the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And we still today, like we had 2 orders last night to the States.
Yeah, it was really exciting to ship out to so many different countries. And I think the Kickstarter as well gave us a lot of really good data to be aware of before we went and launched our own website. And also it was nice to have these sorts of facts to talk with people about when we were starting out at the trade shows. So, for instance, that 35% of people bought all 5 of our characters in the Kickstarter, which is just great. That does show that they're collectible, and it shows that all 5 characters, have a time and a place.
I think another favourite part of the year is London Illustration Fair over in South Bank. It was the first time where we actually got to show our product to random people. And I think it was exciting. So
We'd received we were expecting all of our figures in time for the illustration fair, but production was taking a fair bit longer than we'd hoped. So we had Sherlock and the Queen, and
we didn't have Henry or the Beefy to do.
No, Shakespeare. Yeah. So we had 3 of the 5, and we had literally just gotten them. So it was really cool to be out and exhibiting and people touching them, seeing them and talking about them. And I think finally, it'd been a lot of stress leading up to having the figures and trying to finish production and manage the fact that we'd taken pre-orders so many months ahead. So that was all quite a stressful experience, and not knowing what's actually going to turn up when the box arrives. So when things, looked really good, it was such a rewarding experience. And then to hear that people were really liking them.
Yeah, it's great. Lowest point.
Yeah.
So we haven't discussed this on the social or anything like that, but we'll do a video at some point. But the way it works is you get the prototype, which is nice resin sort of model, and then that goes into production and they make a massive mold of it, and then they then sent us from the mold like the models, and we got them through literally before we was going away, where it was to Italy, and the color of them, the faces, and some of them was
a hot mess.
Oh yeah, leaning too forward, the packaging they still didn't get right.
So I mean, it's a lot for the factories to manage, and we were being quite picky because we did want them to be perfect, but we didn't quite hit the nail on the head, and we had been expecting to see something that was basically perfect. So that was very disheartening when we opened.
So also the reason why we sort of were like, okay, we were also disheartened because we wanted to get them before Christmas to hopefully hit that sort of Christmas sort of period. Again, to just get our name out there and get people excited. So it was just, to be honest, we were in tears and pretty depressed for a little while. But we pulled through it and we got, and the factory did an amazing job. And we're really happy how it all ended up.
Yeah.
So that was the low point.
It was a roller coaster ride throughout production, and China also was dealing with a lot of issues with COVID still. They were having to shut down on almost no notice, so timelines just kept dragging. And yeah, it was a lot to get through, but so rewarding in the end. But things did work out quite well. We're very happy with how they look.
Yeah.
Things that we need to be doing now as a business that you're looking forward to.
I always see it as like you're a band, so you've just done a new record, and you've basically got to tour that record till it's dead.
But everyone's already asking you what your next song is. When are you releasing another single, Joe?
When we are singing the next single, it's
we'd like to keep doing new figures, but for our business to be sustainable, we need to be getting into shops. I think to work on our wholesale business and get it into the right places so that the right, our audience will grow and the right people will see the figures.
Totally. So I think ideally we'd like to do an artist line. So Picasso,
Dali, some women, Frida Kahlo and Yayoi Kusama. But yes, we're quite nervous about legalities around using their names or likeness. I think we're fine to be doing visual interpretations, but we may have to stay away from using their names.
So if you're a lawyer, let us know, maybe. Yeah, and then also, as we've been talking about before, maybe the Beatles. Again, we're going to do a pitch deck of it, send it to them, and then hopefully get some feedback and see if it's, again, financially viable. And we'd love to do loads of figure. Again, all as we're a tiny studio, and it's just we come down to finance in the end, which is the boring part, but we all got to live. So that's pretty much that, and potentially a collaboration, but we'll have to wait and see if that works out or not. But we'll keep that hush hush.
And things you're not looking forward to.
Well,
excited about all.
No, I'm excited. I just want to. We keep doing this and making this work. Obviously, again, it comes not to talk boring stuff, but we need to keep our business going and keep Ivy having a nice life and us as a family. So we've just got to always sort of think about the future. So I potentially might be taking a bit of freelance work here and there, just to keep us ticking along. But I'd love to do this full time if we can. So how would you do the packaging any different?
I'm really happy with how the packaging worked out. It took a lot of fine tuning to get the colors right. But in the end, I think we've got our colors between the boxes and the figures quite, 100%. They're looking pretty good, very bright. And one thing that was great is when we went into the Sherlock Museum, the colors are all quite muted for Sherlock, and that did make me really glad that we went with sort of a creamy color on the Sherlock box. He's obviously the palest out of all of our boxes, but I wanted a lighter color in there, and I'm glad that it was his box in the end because he works by himself in the museum that way as well. I would like to, we're thinking about looking into nicer packaging, gift boxes, collections, whether, we're packing 5 of them as double set in a nicer box, or for future collaborations, etc., having more of a display type box. It just really, again, comes down to price per unit. It's very expensive. Some places already are a bit hesitant about our price point. I feel quite confident about where we've ended up price-wise, because, that's included in that, and then it takes a long time to pack orders, etc. A lot's gone into it. It takes a while to start turning a profit. So I feel okay about that, but you start venturing down into more expensive packaging and then things quickly snowball.
Did you enjoy doing the top drawer exhibition? I thought you did a amazing job of designer and how it ended up.
Yes, it was really fun to go and do that ourselves for our brand. Again, it's sort of things I think we've both been aware of, companies we've worked for doing those sorts of events, or I'll design decals for clients doing these sorts of things. So it was really fun to come and do it ourselves. A lot of work. It was stressful as such a small company. We're only working part-time because we're with our daughter part-time. So it was, a big undertaking, but yeah, it was great to go and meet the people we wanted to meet and really practice pitching our product and what we would say to wholesalers, etc. I mean, things I would be doing differently. Again, this is a cost thing for our company, but I think I would have looked into proper storage and distribution fulfillment off the bat. The amount of time that I've spent researching what size boxes to use, finding, what are they called, courier services, dealing with all the Royal Mail strikes, customs, trying to figure out all the different things you're writing on a form, and learning click and drop Royal Mail. We don't even have a printer in our office. We're always running downstairs to the printer. Sometimes it's not working. But
you do get one of our boxes of number one of here, but we tend to get the sticky paper, which is down on the second floor. The first
floor,
I have to run down or get on the lift, and then I have to text Kay to let her know.
Go.
And no one else prints at the same time. Then it comes out and get all the...
Yeah. So everything was packed with love, and we get to write our little, handwritten notes, and, our characters are excited to go to such and such city while we're stuck at our desks in London working. But it's nice to have that personal touch. However, it does really eat into our time and the learning curve as well. It was like, I'm spending so long learning things that I don't really need to know. I would rather pay someone who knows these things to pack our orders, and that gives us more time to be creative and do the fun thing.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's one of the big things, isn't it? It does eat away from doing more creative videos, content, and obviously
or us being out there making money, which we can then fund some more figures.
Yeah.
Whether that's a sustainable cycle or not.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see if we did do a project in the future, and then we did either a Kickstarter or a crowdrising funding, which actually did the whole cost.
It's a lot though, 1,000 of each figure.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't need to raise 100%, but
yeah. It's either that, or depending on what everybody wants in the future, if we do smaller runs, but then
the unit cost it goes up quite a bit because they're made differently and they're hand painted.
But then they're more rare.
Yeah, I think we need to pick the right character.
Yeah.
To pair with that, but I like the formula that we ended up with. I like having the figures that size produced that way in the recyclable minimal box, and we've got 1,000 to work with. And it would be very fun to start getting into the second runs and doing different colors, and we could have gold or see-through, all different.
The queen could be in different colors.
Yeah, I'd like a rainbow queen. That'd be very neat.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hopefully
this is gonna be cut down anyway, right?
Hope you get some kind of value out of it. As I said, we will at some point when we will do videos about the bits which were quite painful for us. But as you said, we came through the other end, and the company we worked with did an amazing job in the end. But anyway, so if you could subscribe, tell your friends, usual stuff. Thanks.
Thank you.